Hey, I'm Nick from Dorman Products, and this is our video on four-wheel drive accessories. Four-wheel drive, as the name implies, is a system that delivers power to all of the wheels to deliver increased traction, especially on slippery or loose terrain. You may hear customers refer to the system as 4x4 or all-wheel drive too. Although those systems aren't exactly the same, the names are sometimes used interchangeably. Once found almost exclusively on light-duty trucks, four-wheel drive typically indicates a part-time system that primarily utilizes the rear axle for day-to-day two-wheel drive operation. When four-wheel drive is desired, the driver engages the ability to send power to the front axle manually by the way of a lever, knob, and possibly hub locks, and power is generally split evenly to all wheels. Usually, these vehicles will use a transfer case to send power up to the front wheels and often have multiple speeds within the transfer case, usually high and low range. This system is generally the most robust form of four-wheel drive when used within its limits, but there are a number of limitations in this style of four-wheel drive. Because there is no center differential, driveline bind can occur, increasing as the steering wheel approaches the extremes of its travel. This binding can cause driveline damage if the wheels cannot slip over loose or slippery terrain. All-wheel drive systems now are standard and optional on a wide range of vehicles. These systems can apply power unevenly to the wheels. Sometimes the power application is fixed and other times it's variable, depending on the vehicle. Also, all-wheel drive may be full-time or part-time, and selection can be manual or automated. These systems are implemented in a number of different ways and exhibit a bit more variety than the part-time systems we've just discussed. Full-time and on-demand all-wheel drive systems are usually more transparent to the driver. It's generally not very noticeable when this style of four-wheel drive is being used. Given the breadth of vehicles with multiple drive axles and the number of ways these traction-enhancing setups can be fitted to vehicles, there are quite a few parts. Some of the major components are the transfer case, which was mentioned earlier. This takes some of the power from the transmission and sends it to the axle that's normally not driven. You'll hear this called the T-case from time to time. There are drive shafts, which are just the way they sound, shafts that receive power and drive the vehicle forward. Differentials are pieces that allow the wheels to spin at different rates of speed. Some customers will call them diffs or rears or even pumpkins. It's not unusual to be asked for parts for a front rear, believe it or not. Inside, most diffs have a pair of meshing gears that turns the power 90 degrees called a ring and pinion gear. If you're familiar with those major components, you should be able to narrow down where a particular component lives on a vehicle and find the parts. Let's go over a few things we have that you'll probably be asked for that are related to the four-wheel drive system. We sell actuators, which are the pieces that actually kick the four-wheel drive into action. These systems can be operated in different ways, some using a lever and mechanical linkage, others operate by vacuum, and some also get things working electrically. Heck, we even sell the knobs. Dorman has parts surrounding the transfer case too, like indicator switches, oil pumps, and cam gears. Heck, if someone busts the entire T-case itself, we even sell those. And even if someone just needs to perform a drain and fill of the lubricant, crush washers are available to do the job right. We also have some products for the hubs too. This is how the front wheels get locked to the drive shaft to receive power. We've got hub actuators as well as kits to delete them. We carry the hubs themselves with both auto and manual locks and the seal kits to rebuild them as needed. It doesn't stop there. Dorman can also offer drive shafts as well as differential components too, like the ring and pinion gear and installation kits. We truly touch every part of the four-wheel drive system except the tires. Repair of these components is hard to encapsulate in a quick video like this because of the variety of systems and number of parts within them. Generally, quick services like fluid exchanges are even easier than an oil change since there is usually no filter, so even walk-in retail customers are comfortable tackling the job. You'll obviously be selling lubricant and sometimes limited slip additives and differential covers, gaskets, or crush washers for servicing axles, and the occasional crush washer for transfer case fluid exchanges. As far as some of the other repairs are concerned, you'll find a wide variety of tools needed. Some jobs are rather involved, like rebuilding a differential, and others can go a bit faster, like replacing a four-wheel drive actuator. One thing that is pretty common is the dirt and corrosion that often come with four-wheel drive vehicles. Because these specialized vehicles are often used off the pavement or in areas with heavy road salt, dirt and rust are often part of the off-road game. Suggesting the purchase of penetrating lubricant with most of these repairs is rarely bad advice. As you sell four-wheel drive components to your customers, you'll quickly realize Dorman is an excellent resource simply because we make a pretty wide variety of the parts, as I think you've seen. We also focus on high failure problems specifically to help you keep your customers rolling along. So if you're seeing the same failures, odds are good we've got a solution. And if we don't, call us and let us know and we'll try to get working on it. Remember, if you need any help before, during, or after the sale, our Dorman technical support team is always available to help at 1-866-933-2911. Thanks for taking a little bit of time to brush up on your four-wheel drive components. We hope it helps you and your customers. I'm Nick. We'll see you next time.